Hello, everybody, and welcome to this month's Google Hangout. I have two guests with me today. We have Amy Moore, who's Dining for Women's Data Associate, whom you can see at the bottom of your screen. Um, Amy, there she is. And then I have Brisa de Angulo, who is the Executive Director and founder of a Breeze of Hope Foundation. Hello, Brisa.
Hi, Vina.
Good to have you with us today. A Breeze of Hope Foundation was founded in 2004 in Cochabamba, Bolivia. Brisa is going to now share with us her very compelling story of how she founded this organization. Brisa, go ahead and share your story with us.
Thank you for the introduction, Vienna. So a little bit about the center that I funded. First of all, in Cochabamba, Bolivia is the highest country of sexual violence in all of Latin America. And it has no centers for victims of sexual violence. So the reason this center started is because when I was a young child, I was repeatedly raped and tortured by a family member. And when I tried to look for help, I only received blame, and people told me that either I deserved to be sexually abused because I was both a girl and I was a woman, and they either said that it was my fault or that I deserved it. And so I wanted to provide what I never received, which was someone to say, I believe in you, and I know that the person who did it is the one to be blamed. I was completely re-victimized by the entire political system, judicial system. I was almost killed several times. My house was set on fire. And in that process, I realized that I wasn't alone, that there were hundreds of girls who were also being sexually abused, and they didn't have a place to go. So my dream was to create a small place where they could come, I could listen to their stories, and I could tell them I believe in you, which is something I never heard. So at age 17, I founded the only center in the country that is specialized in sexual violence. And we started with a few girls, and then more girls and more girls started coming. Right now we have over 1,400 girls. And in that process, I said it has to be a lot more. So we started providing free legal, social, and psychological services to these girls. And right now, we're in the process of receiving the Dining for Women grant, for which we want to use to provide the services to 70 new girls that don't have any other place to go, that don't have anybody else to advocate for them. And what we're going to provide them is four things. The first one is therapy. So they're going to have individual therapy, weekly therapy, and different types of therapy so that they can build their self-esteem and have a better life in the future. We know that children and girls and victims of sexual violence heal differently. So we provide different types of therapy. We provide art therapy, music therapy, dance therapy, yoga therapy, phototherapy, so that every person can find their own way of healing. For some people, talking is great. For other people, they need to use their body because their body was what was used to harm them, and they have hatred toward their body, and they hate themselves because their body wasn't able to defend them. So we use these types of therapy so that they can feel comfortable in themselves. And once they feel comfortable with themselves, they can start dreaming and looking for a future and saying, maybe I can do something with my body, with myself. And that's the process where we want to get them, and then we start helping them to dream, and to dream far beyond what they thought they could dream. So what about having a little house in the future? What about having your own business? What about getting a job? What about getting a college degree? And many of them, it's just an impossible dream. But once they start dreaming, and once they start entertaining that idea, they start fighting for that idea, and they start fighting for that future that they have already put in front of them. So since they get to our center, every girl has to start creating a dream for the future, and then explaining it to other survivors. This is what I dream of. When they say it, they own it. Another aspect of what we're going to do with the DFW grant is support these girls with their education. we know that if a girl doesn't have education, they're more vulnerable for future abuses in every way. So we are very strong with them to be able to at least finish high school. And we know that victims of sexual violence, the majority of them will drop school because of having to deal with what they're dealing with. We're very happy to say that 95% of the girls that come to our center continue in school and are doing really well in school, which is not an easy process. So with the DFW grant, we will provide them with first of all, a place for them to do schoolwork, because many of them have to go back to their houses, which is so chaotic that they can't even concentrate to do schoolwork. So if they go to school without doing their homework, then their grades start going down. Second, we have someone who's all the time there to support them, encourage them, explain to them what they need to know so that their school grades can go up. So our encouragement is go up as high as you can with your school grades, because that also encourages them with their self-esteem. And then we help them, once you graduate, you go to college. I mean, it's in their graduation days, it's really sad because their family is not there to see them graduate. It is our staff who's there, the psychologist, the social work, who's there to cheer them on, to receive their certificate. So it's a very important thing that we do for them to say, okay, it's worth it to continue going to school. And then we help them dream to go to college, but with a purpose. So why do you want to go to college? So you can have a degree, so you can do this, so you can accomplish this, so you can feel this purpose in life. Another aspect that we're going to support these girls with is economic independence. Many of these girls depend on the aggressor economically, so they're trapped in this cycle of violence that they can't get out, because if they get out, they become homeless, they don't have food, they don't have a way to sustain themselves. So we help these girls to become economic independent so that they can leave the violent experience that they're having, but also so that in the future they don't have to get involved to another man who's going to abuse her in another way, because they can sustain themselves. So if they own the home and the guy is behaving bad, they're going to be like, hey, get out of here. This is my home. You're not getting me out of here. So we really push these girls to become economic independent, either get a job or start your own business. And so since very young, they start going to vocational training programs. And what's beautiful is to see that these girls are using the money that they're getting to start buying their notebooks, to start getting, paying classes and getting more classes, getting more education. It's beautiful to see like this cycle that's going on, and that they can dream on this. And then the fourth aspect of what we're going to give these girls is the legal support. So it's many of these girls need someone to advocate with them. So we provide them with lawyers who are going to take their predators or their aggressors to court. So that's a little bit an overview of what we will be doing with the grant from Dining for Women.
Okay. Brisa, thank you so much for displaying so much courage to share this very compelling story of yours with the Dining for Women family and also with your community, and having come so far from your own personal experience. So I wanted to ask you, how exactly do the beneficiaries find you? You are located in Cochabamba, so how does this work?
Part of our prevention program is to be able to have at least 1 hour in every TV channel in Cochabamba, so that everybody know about what sexual violence is, and also if you've been sexually abused, what you can do or where you can come to help. We also provide a lot of education in the schools so that each child knows, if this is happening to me, where I can call or where I can go. So many of the kids come by themselves, or a teacher will bring them. The prosecutor also refers us to the judges. So people refer them to us, or they come in by themselves.
Okay, so then that begs the question, what is happening in the rest of Bolivia, especially in the more rural areas where, there's this culture of silence? So,
yeah, sadly, there's no other center who specializes only in sexual violence in the entire country. It is one of our dreams to be able to expand and have different programs in, in different departments and different rural communities. But right now, they can't reach us, and so they will go to centers that are not special on sexual violence. And this is such a specific topic that you need to know how to deal with it. It's not like any other type of crime.
Yes, definitely. Since your center seems to be focused mainly on young people between the ages of 0 and 18, what happens to older victims? As we were having a conversation, you talked about this. This is a lifelong process. So what kind of options do they have?
So the girls who come to our center, who arrive there between 0 and 18, we continue to give them a lifelong support. So we encourage them in the process of getting jobs, or even if they have a crisis, a depression, so they can continue coming for the rest of their lives. So we will see a lot of adult women who will continue coming to our center.
So clearly it seems that you have created a major cultural shift in Cochabamba. You have made it well known that this is a center that serves these people who need the services, and you have successfully dealt with the law enforcement and several people who are your supporters. So what exactly are your future plans, your future challenges? Where do you see all this going?
So I know what it is to suffer in silence. I know how hard it is to not know where to go. And I know that there's hundreds of girls who are trapped in that, who are blamed. So my dream is to be able to expand this program and continue offering this process to this program to other girls, and open it in different departments in rural areas, in working more with the indigenous communities. And we have the opportunity, we're just lacking the resources. So that's one of my biggest dreams, is to be able to provide the services and then also work on the prevention area, because the more information there is out there, the more we can prevent this from happening.
So, Brisa, the entire Dining for Women family joins me in reaffirming your courage and your passion for your organization. And we wish you the very best in having a very successful grand cycle, and for helping the young girls who you must be such a wonderful role model for. So we wish you the very best, and congratulations on the new baby.
Thank you so much. And thank you for all the support and for walking with us.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.